In this video, we are going to see how to find duplicate emails. Hello, I'm Jagan. I'm posting this video to share my knowledge in SQL with you. If this assists you in interview preparation anyways, I'll be happy. The question we are going to discuss in this video is, we will be given a table. You have to write a SQL query to find all duplicate emails in the table. So let's show the table structure and then we can talk about the questions more. The table name is users and it got user ID and email. So you have the user ID 1001, the email ID is grow@growwithdata.co and 2001, 3001 and 1002. So if you see the two users 1001 and 1002, they have the same email address grow@growwithdata.com. So the question they asked is find all duplicate emails. That means one email is connected to more than one user. Right? So this is what we are going to track. As a clarification question, you can ask whether you want to show only the email ID or you want to show the users and the email. If it's only the email ID, the SQL is very simple. But if you want to add the user ID and the email, then we have to put in few more steps to get that answer. So you better clarify that before you start the questions. Okay, let's create the table. Okay, and from interview point of view, this is one of the simplest questions you will be asked as a warm-up question or to make you normal to take up the complex questions, right? Since you worked hard for the interview, you start thinking about complex approach and end up frustrated. So this video is more of where you can go wrong and how to keep it simple and stupid. Okay, so when they ask find all duplicate emails, then you'll be like, okay, I have the email ID, I have a user, how will I duplicate it? I just do a self join, I can connect with the email address and the email ID should be more than one, all that, right? Okay, so let's start with a basic mistake you are going to do. Okay, once you are asked to find the duplicate emails, what you will do is you start with the self join. Okay, I have to do the users table A, inner join users B, so where B dot email equal to A dot email. So in that way I can find the email address and you can say B dot user ID is not equal to A dot user ID. So we have the same email ID, different user. So we find the duplicates. It's going to work. Let's see. A dot user ID, B dot user ID, and we can have the email address too. A dot email, B dot. Both are going to be same, so I can just have only the A dot email, A dot user ID, and B dot user ID. Let's run the code. So if you see the output, we have the grow@growwithdata.co. We have user ID 1002, 1001, 1001, 1002, right? So do you remember these kind of things you did before? Yeah, so in our previous video, we did a similar exercise where we did count messages between two users and added one extra condition to make sure we don't duplicate the counts. So message from user 1 to user 2 and then message from user 2 to user 1. Right? There are two ways communication and you have to find the distinct of messages, number of messages. So we make sure we don't do the duplicates. Right? I can put the video link in the description or how to find that number of messages. So if you haven't seen that video, you can watch that. So here we did the same mistake. So the same record, it just getting twice because the user ID 1002 connects with 1001 and 1001 connects with 1002 because you are doing a self join. So how to remove the filter? And B dot user ID is less than or greater than. So anything works to make sure you have a standard condition. So you have the duplicate email and you have the email address. So if the question is to find only the email ID, then you can just do this, right? So you get only the email ID. If there are more than one users, there might be duplicates. So you just put the distinct of it, so you get the email ID. So if they are asked to find both the records, all the records which are duplicated, right, then you have to add one more condition to it. Just create this as a CTE table with all, say, duplicate emails, right? Duplicate emails as, so we create this as a CTE table, and then select a dot user ID, a dot email from users A, where a dot email in, select a email from duplicate emails. So the duplicate email, the CTE table will have all the emails which are duplicated, and then we are going to do the user table where the email ID is from the duplicate check. Okay. So now you have the user ID and email. And even in a previous video we talked about how we can do the same SQL without subquery. We can just directly do inner join with the CTE table on b dot email equal to a dot email, right? So even that works. So instead of a subquery, we can directly connect this with the table. So this is a basic SQL, and never try this in your interview point of view. They will just stop the interview before going to the next question, right? Because this is very basic question and we are doing it wrong. Why? Because the solution they are expecting is very simple. They just want to see if you know the aggregation function. So you know the group by, you know the having class, right? So those kind of basic things is what they are expecting. If you are going with the self join, that is not what they are expecting. So you are not going to be in a good spot in the interview. So what are they expecting? Let's see. Let's throw this code out because this is not the one they're expecting. Select from users table, we get email, see group by email having count star greater than 1. So this is what they're expecting, right? So you just aggregate based on the email, and then you have to do a filter condition where the count is going to be 0. You can just say count star to check. If you don't have the condition, then you find all the rows. The grow@go.com got 2 and other emails got 1 entry, right? So you don't have to put the count here. We just the where condition is basically a normal filter. Having is a filter condition used by the aggregation function like group by, right? So this is what they're expecting. Again, as I said, if the question is to find only the email address, this is very simple. This is what you have to show up. But if you want to bring in the user ID, then you have to do the same what you did before, the CTE table, right? With duplicate emails as, get this, and then however you did before, select a dot email is a user ID, a dot email from users where a dot email in, select email from duplicate emails. Here we are not doing the distinct part because we are doing group by email, which will eliminate the duplicates. Okay. So when you do this, you will get the user ID. Again, as you said, instead of subquery, you can just do a inner join with the CTE table, right? So this is a better solution than you are doing a self join, and this is what is expected in the interview point of view. First thing is the clarification whether you have to show only the email ID or the user ID and email. The second one is you have to do the group by and having class. These are the two main expected results out of this question. Okay, and can we do a Windows function here, right? So Windows function, most of the time we don't have to use it here because the aggregation group by and having is going to be used, but just for our understanding, let's talk about the Windows function. Okay, okay, let's clean up this email or user ID email, and then we just say count star over partition by email, right? Okay, as count from users. Since this is a Windows function, we don't have to go for group by or aggregation. Okay, so if you see this, you have the grow with data.co, it got count as 2, others are having 1, right? It's not like rank or dense rank, this is like a count. So just count the email ID partition by the email. So every email just do count, and never try order by, because the order by will screw up the count. You have to know when to use the order by. If we say order by user ID, then the count is going to go with the user ID. So the grow with data we have 2, but it will just say 1 and 2 based on the user ID order. Okay, but if you put a email, then it's going to show you only the 2. Okay, because the email is the same, the count is going to be the same. If you put user ID, then it's going to be different. So you make sure when to use the order by part of it. Okay, so now you have this, and put this as a with all data as this, we can just say select user ID email from all data where count is greater than 1 or greater than or equal to 2, however you want to put it. Right. So here what we are doing is we are doing a Windows function and we are filtering from that Windows function. Right. We are not doing a subquery or we are not doing another inner join. So Windows function is helpful that way, but we can just go with the normal group by and having class. Okay. And as I said, we are using MySQL here, but if it's a Snowflake or Teradata, we don't even have to use the CTE table. Since we don't have that database, we just say the syntax is going to be qualify. You can just put the same condition, FY qualify, this is greater than 1, right? So this will be more than enough for Teradata and Snowflake. I don't know about other databases, but MySQL and Postgres, they don't have this qualify function available, right? So we can stick on to this Windows function, row 11 to 17, or you can go with group by and having class. Hope this is helpful for you. Thank you. Bye.